There we go. Live on Facebook, live on Instagram. Here we go. Come in, come in, come in. Okay, so let me type the topic on Instagram. So the topic today is, what is it about you that keeps allowing toxic men into your life? Plus how to solve that so you don't stay in that dysfunctional relationship cycle. Hello, Bubbles 02231. So let me type this on Instagram. What is it about you that keeps allowing toxic men into your life? Okay, and then plus how to stop that dysfunctional relationship cycle. Okay, let's post this. And then, okay, so I'm going to pin this. Hey, Instagram. We are live on Facebook, live on Instagram. And I was just typing out the caption. So when new people join, they will see what the topic is. So we're going to get started. We just got started. Literally just went live like 20 seconds ago. Okay, so making sure Facebook is good to go. Am I live on Facebook? Happy Tuesday, Instagram. Just double checking. Yeah, so today's topic is, what is it about you that keeps allowing toxic men into your life, into your heart, that leaves you feeling empty? Hi. Okay, hold on. I don't see my live. Oh, yep. Okay. Okay, just had to make sure that we are good to go on Instagram and on Facebook. Okay, let's get into it. Okay. What is it about you that keeps allowing toxic men into your life? Which I am going to assume that leaves you feeling empty. What am I doing wrong? What is it about me that keeps allowing these men, that keeps attracting these men that do nothing but take from me? Okay. So we're going to talk about that because it's a mindset. It's really how you think. We're going to talk about how you can shift that mindset today, plus how to solve it. And it is in the shifting the mindset. Okay. So this episode is for women. Hear me. Professional single women who are here. You feel like, man, I have it together in my career, my finances. I'm doing okay in that area. I can take care of myself. I pay my own rent or mortgage, but somehow I keep getting into this cycle of dysfunctional relationships. So you're here and that's what you're thinking. You're in this cycle. And answer me this, being here, how many times have you written off guys, one guy or a few guys, only to find yourself in the same cycle of dysfunction? So you've written them off. Man, I'm never talking to guys anymore. Forget him. He sucks. He ain't never been blah, 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 blah. You talking all this mess in your anger. But then 2 days later, when you feel lonely, you let him come back in because he apologized. So you take him back. How many times have you written off men to find yourself in that same type of dysfunctional relationship? Is this something that is a constant for you? Because it's that one guy, ain't it? Sometimes it's Tom, Dick, and Harry. I don't know why every time I talk about dudes, I always choose Tom, Dick, and Harry. And I think it's because they just easy to roll off the tongue. I ain't going to be like Devontae and whatever. So Tom, Dick, and Harry. You start dating the same type of men and you find yourself in a cycle of dysfunction and always left feeling empty. If that's you, this episode today, in the next 30, 40 minutes, we're going to talk about how to stop that, because you're here. Like I said, you feel like you got it together. You're a professional woman, your career, your finances, they doing all right. But for some reason, you keep letting the men who aren't even at your level into your life. And you want to go here. You want to be truly happy single, knowing your worth and knowing that your identity isn't tied to a man. And this isn't about being bitter. This is actually truly being happy with yourself because you know yourself and you don't allow BS. That's where you want to go, but you're here. That's who this episode is for. I'm going to read you a quote from Tracy Ellis Ross, who I love. In her 50s, single, no kids, love her. She says, and I quote, because this is where you want to go. I am happy single, though that doesn't mean I am not open to and don't want a relationship. But in my wonderful and robust experience of being single, I have learned to have a productive relationship with loneliness and intensely juicy relationship with my joyful solitude. That's where you want to go. Because if you're there, when you write off a guy, you're not going to take him back in your hours of loneliness because you just want a body, you need company. Because you feel bad about being single. And we're going to talk about your thought process of being single because it's your mindset that's causing you to be in this cycle. So if you're asking yourself, what is it about me that keeps allowing this? It's your mindset. It's your mindset, baby girl. It's your mindset. And I know this because I've been there. So by the way, if you're new to my platform, my name is Rika. I'm a certified NLP life coach. Okay. And what do? Well, I help women stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships inside my program called Single You Academy, which is my online intensive 16-week inner work program focused on growth for the professional single woman. So who are my clients? Women who feel like they spend so much time, effort, and money pouring into men, and you feel like you don't ever get the same type of dynamic in return. And you're left wondering, what is it about myself that I keep attracting these types of relationships? And how do I solve that? Because you don't want to be in that cycle, right? You're left feeling empty. So I'm going to tell you exactly what you do. I'm sure you've seen my video before of the water. So this is you, right? And this is men, okay? And let's talk about your mindset first on singleness. And I will show you exactly what you're doing because of that mindset. So this is how you think of being single. You think being single means that you're unsuccessful at life. You think being single is like being in a waiting room. And you're just waiting to get into the other room so your life can begin. Because a man makes your life exciting. A man makes your life worthy. You think being single means you failed as a woman because the formula to happiness is marriage. And you didn't get that formula right. So you feel like you're failing. You sit in your house, woe is me, I'm single. My sisters are getting married. My cousins, people I used to babysit are now married. And I'm talking about me. This is where I was. I used to babysit these people and they now married with kids. And so in your loneliness, when you're sitting at home, Netflix and chilling by yourself, you're having all these thoughts, subconsciously or consciously. Woe is me, singleness sucks. And I need to get out of this waiting room. I need to get out of this failure and get into living a happy life. Because you think you can't be happy in singleness. Like, what is that? Oh my God, I can't be happy in singleness. Is this resonating with you? Type yes in the comments. So because you have that mindset, right? This is what you're doing out here in these dating streets. You find a guy that you're attracted to and you're like, oh my God, he likes me. He's fine. My vagina is liking this. Yay. You pass up all these red flags. You see how this cup is speckled? You pass up all these red flags and you start pouring into him. This is you trying to make him who you want him to be. So I'm going to back up a little bit so I don't spill the water on my computer. Let me make sure you can see this on Facebook, right? Because this is exactly what you do because you have that mindset of singleness sucks. So this is what you do. You pass up the red flags and you begin to love on him because you think ride or die is the way to go. So you're trying to make him who you want him to be. Even though you see all these red flags, you see how this cup is speckled? You're like, I can make him, I can help him get a job. I'm going to pay his rent. I'm going to stick around because I can create the man that I want him to be. And you steady wondering why he won't be the man you want him to be. And so you try harder because you excelled in your career. You got the job you wanted by working hard and sticking it out. And you think that's what we have to do in relationships. So you working it hard and sticking it out. Let him disrespect you. You let him cheat on you and you take him back because he apologized. So you stay because relationships don't last these days. So that's going to keep you in a relationship that is leaving you feeling what? What's happening to this cup? You were full of joy when you were 12 and 15, maybe even 21. And then you started dating and the men started taking your joy because you don't have boundaries, because you think being single is a failure. So you steady trying to create in him what you want. And where does that leave you? How does that make you feel? And you think if I just be the ride or die girl, then I'll finally, once we get to that marriage point, then it's going to be perfect. So you're suffering in love because of what? Who taught you that? So now you're in a conundrum, if that's the right word, because now you're left feeling empty. You steady trying to find it in the man who left you feeling empty. You steady trying to get him to fill you back up. Trying to figure out how come he just can't be, instead of saying, you know what? I need to go figure out how to fill me up without a man. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And where is that leaving you? It's your mindset, boo-boo. And you know, also another reason why you do that, you pour your all into a man and you left feeling empty and you trying to tap. Let me see if I can give him some more because I need him to be the man I need him to be so he can fill me back up. This is what you're doing. You look crazy out here. And another reason why you're doing this is because you don't think what you're going through is abuse. Because you go by the old saying, well, if he ain't hitting me, then I ain't being abused. You are totally missing the definition of emotional abuse and what that feels like. It feels like this, being left empty. Well, if he don't hit me, I have a friend. She's in her 50s now. She's married now. But before her husband, she was going through abuse. And she said that she called a lady in the church to ask her for help because what she was going through was emotional abuse, but she didn't know. But she knew that she was going through it and she was left feeling like this. And the lady in the church told her, now this was an elder, and of course she said, well, baby, is he hitting you? As to say, if he ain't hitting you, what you complaining about? If he pay the bills, what? Because we don't even call a thing, and you're never going to get healed from something if you don't identify it. And let me tell you something, where your pain is caused is not where it's going to be healed. So you steady trying to figure out why, when you need to figure out how can you fill this up and be happy on your own without needing a man, because he's not going to fill it up for you. You got to do that. Okay? Because here's the thing. I know you're like, but I'm a good woman, so he should love me. I deserve a good man. He should love me. I'm being the ride or die. Yeah, you're a good woman. And yes, you deserve a good man, but you're going about it the wrong way, sis. You have to change your mindset on how you think about being single. You have to change your mindset on how you think about dating. You think I have to tap dance for him and I have to do all these things. You're steady trying to raise him up, help him get a job, let him take you to work and he driving your car, disrespecting you left and right, setting the rules of the relationship and you just follow. You're like, well, this is love, right? Well, if I love him, we have to compromise. If I love him, I got to stick it out. For a boyfriend, I'm not even talking about your husband. That's an area I don't dibble and dabble in. I'm talking about you and this dating cycle that you're in with this same guy. You keep letting him back in because, well, he apologized and he seems sincere. Let me ask you this. Who had a conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship? Who had that conversation? Do you understand the difference between healthy hard versus dysfunctional? Healthy hard versus abusive? I would argue no. Nobody sat and listen, me neither. You don't know what healthy compromise is. So you steady sticking it out, trying to fill up a man while he's leaving you drained and bitter and heartbroken. When the Bible says guard your heart, because everything flows from that. You don't know how to guard your heart. You don't. Not if you're doing that. Not if you're doing that, sis. So let me tell you something. So one of my clients, when she first met me and we first had a conversation about her joining Single You Academy, which she did. And if you're wondering what Single You Academy is, we're going to talk about that, because if you need help in changing your mindset and you don't know where to start with me. I got you. So here's a client of mine. She said, Rika, listen, I date the same type of men because, like you said, I'm happy that they just choose me. So I'm like, oh, you chose me. Okay. So I'm going to sacrifice what I know I don't want just because you chose me and I'm excited. My last boyfriend, we were together for 7 years. We did well together for a while, or so I thought, but he never wanted the commitment. And he showed me that over and over again. He kept stringing me along. And I feel like I do all of these things because I'm a good woman. And so why not? Why wouldn't he choose me? Does that resonate with you? Like I said, yes, you are a good woman and you deserve a good man, but you're going about it the wrong way. And so that's what she was trying to do. Fit a round hole in a square peg, or however that saying is, doing this. So I'm gonna show you. So this is what she's doing. For 7 years, this is what she did. This was her. She was whole and happy on her own, full of joy. And for 7 years, she sat here and morphed into who he wanted her to be. Changed boundaries, what she thought relationships should be because she's with him. And then you get to a point where like, well, I've been with him for so long, so I have to stay because all those years, but I love him. So I must stay. So I'm going to work harder and I'm going to turn him into the man I want him to be. And he's going to love me perfectly. And that leaves you feeling like what? Ooh, seems a bit empty. And that's what she was doing. Does that resonate with you? Are you tracking? And so after working with me inside of Single You Academy, this is what she said. She said, Rika, guess what? She was telling me about this guy that was trying to talk to her as we were working together. And she goes, listen, I was able to stick up for myself after a man tried to put me on time out like I was a kid. I was very blunt and very clear. And I've never been that person before, not before Single You Academy. I used to not want to get a man too upset because I wanted him around. I was always afraid that he would leave me. And I didn't want to be alone. It felt so good to send him that text message. And I read it like 1,000 times. And I was like, I can't believe I just did that, because I always hold on to men. Before Single You Academy, I'd know what I felt, but I just didn't want to be in the wrong. And I didn't want him to walk away. But this time I decided, okay, well, I'll just take the loss. I'll take the L. I'm not taking it anymore from men. So you know what she did? She took her power back, slowly but surely. She was no longer afraid to be single. She was no longer afraid for a man to walk away because she stood up for herself. So guess what? And it wasn't even coming from a man, but she just started taking her power back and started getting filled up with the joy of herself, knowing, wow, I did that. I stood up for myself. I'm building trust back into myself. Because every time you morph and change into a guy, into who he wants you to be, that's self-betrayal. See, you don't even understand that you could be abusing yourself. You could be emotionally abusing yourself. That's self-betrayal. That's a road I will never go down again because I'm afraid to be single. And I was on that road from 2015 to 2017 when I was in my abusive relationship, and I was doing the same thing she did. I was trying to hold on. Well, they say, we got to just stick it out and relationships are hard. All this confusion. One of the rules I have for myself now is if I'm confused, I walk, because God is not the author of confusion. That's the devil. So if I'm confused, I walk immediately, not on the second or third time, immediately. As Maya Angelou says, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. I ain't giving second chances no more, third chances, or feeling bad, or thinking I'm too picky, because that's what society is going to tell you, or religion, or religion. I'm going to, and it's not and, or it's both. And listen, I really don't like calling myself a Christian anymore. I like to call myself a believer. But I am very critical of Christianity in the way that the way that they do not teach you that in your single season, you got work to do before you ever get into a relationship. And what does that work? Well, let's talk about it. So Single You Academy, right? It's my online intensive program, 16 weeks for inner growth, where I help the professional single woman, usually in her 30s and 40s, stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships. I help you discover your worth, who you are, because listen, honey, I know you think you know who you are, but I would argue you don't. You don't know your value if you are allowing a man to disrespect you left and right. Apologizing, you take him back. Apologizing, you take him back. He pisses you off, cheats on you, he apologizes, you take him back. He's draining you, he's heavy, he apologizes, you take him back. He talks to you any kind of way, you apologize, he apologizes, you take him back. I would argue if you're in that cycle, you don't know who you are. You know your favorite color, but you don't know who you are. You don't know the inner workings of you, your triggers, why you do the things you do. You don't know that. And these are the things that culture, church, they're not going to tell you to focus on. You need to focus on you. The Bible says the first and greatest commandment is love thy neighbor as thyself. So that means it starts with you, the foundation. As Drake says, know yourself, know your worth, right? That's a popular song. And girls love, I know who I am. I'm independent. I got it. Da, da, da. But behind the scenes, you letting a man disrespect you and talk to you any old kind of way and draining you, cheating on you. How you know your worth, boo-boo? It is in you are your behaviors, number one, and it is in your boundaries that you show yourself, you love yourself, number two. So you need to change the way you think about you first. So the pillars that I teach inside of Single You Academy, it's my 4 pillars to living a successful single life. There are 2 things you need to know. You need to know who you are deeper than my favorite color is blue. You need to know the who and why of who you are. You got to know your anxieties, your triggers, and you got to learn how to create a safe space for yourself. And then you need to know what you want and how to get it, because there's a disconnect. You know what you want. If I asked you, do you want a dysfunctional relationships or do you want a happy and healthy relationship? Of course you would say happy and healthy. You don't know how to get it because you steady doing this. Okay, so I know what I want. I'm full. I know what I want. Oh my God, I'm attracted to this guy. Okay, I'm going to try to make him what I want. So let me pour into him. Let me try to help him get a job. Ooh, I'm going to buy him an Xbox for his birthday. Then he'll fall in love with me. Ooh, I'm going to give him good sex. Ooh, he'll fall in love with me. Yep. Ooh, I'm going to cook for him. Yes, because I'm a good woman and he's going to become the man that I want him to be. But he's slowly taken, disrespecting you. And again, because you know what you want, you don't know how to get it. You don't know how to set a boundary with a man to save your life. So you left feeling empty. So 4 pillars to living a successful single life. This is what I teach inside of Single You Academy. The 2 things you need to know, who you are, and then you need to know what you want and how to get it. The 2 behaviors you need to embody, and you will, after you graduate from Single You Academy, is then you have the audacity to believe that you can get it. So remember the client testimonial I read to you earlier, where she was like, yo, I was so proud of myself. Like I said, a boundary, it felt so good because she had the audacity. She was no longer afraid if I speak up for myself, then he will leave. She knew I have the audacity to speak up for myself. And if he leaves, oh, well, next. But you steady holding on to a guy who's doing nothing but you but I love him. And I've been talking to him for a while. So you stick around for what? No judgment. I was there for 2 years. 2015 to 2017, he was so fine. My God. That's what makes it worse. When they fine. What? I was letting that man call me everything under the sun but a child of God. So the 2 behaviors you need to embody: have the audacity to believe that you can get it and the patience to wait for it. There is no time limit on getting married. I hear a lot of women say, once I hit 30, well, I'm getting older, so I need to find, where's my man? Where's my Boaz? Who put a time limit on it? Who told you that? Show me where it says in the Bible, you must be married by 25 and a half. Show me that. So you need to change your mindset, baby girls, your mindset. Am I tracking? Is this resonating with you? Type yes in the comments. Are you ready to change your mindset? Type yes in the comments. Because Single You Academy, good news, it's open. It does close on Friday. So if you've been hanging around me for the last month or so, you've been hearing me talk about Single You Academy. The doors are open. We down to the wire now for this cohort. So the doors close on Friday. Single You Academy is open. If you want to change your mindset and you want to learn the 4 pillars of living a successful single life, knowing exactly who you are outside of your favorite color is blue, knowing what you want and how to get it, having the audacity to believe you can get it and the patience to wait for it. Singleness is not a punishment and you are worthy regardless of your relationship status. So I'm going to read you another client testimonial. This is one of my clients. She graduated from Single You Academy. And she goes, Rika, I got to tell you, when my friends heard I signed up for Single You Academy, they were looking at me like, you pay what for what? I could have taught you that. And she said she looked them dead in the eye and said, no, you couldn't, because you weren't going to push me to the level of Single You Academy, by which literally doors started unlocking and helping me have the strength to walk through. Single You Academy is definitely helpful and it was worth every penny of it. It truly was. Thank you, Rika. Because here's the deal. Your friends are going through the same BS you're going through, or they don't understand because all your friends are married. So they like, girl, what's wrong with you? Why are you single? Oh, they don't understand. You feel alone in your singleness. All your cousins is getting married, everybody having kids, and you just like, what is so wrong with me that I'm single? Your mindset is off. So again, we talked about right now you're here. Woe is me. Singleness sucks. Something's wrong with me. Feeling empty, trying to turn men into who you want them to be. But you want to be here, truly, happily single, knowing your worth and not settling, stopping the cycle of dysfunction. You want to be here. So what is going to be the vehicle that gets you from here to here? Because maybe you've tried counseling, therapy, your friends, willpower, good intentions. Well, I'm going to go into this relationship. I'm going to slow down. I'm not going to sleep with him on the first day. I'm going to tell him exactly what I want. Yep, that's going to work. That's going to work. And 2 months later, you in the same cycle. It's not working. There's a disconnect for you for whatever reason. But there's a disconnect. Like, he's treating me like crap. I shouldn't be here, but you are. I know I should leave, but I don't. What? I think I know my worth, but do I? Because if you are letting a man walk all over you and leave you feeling empty, you don't love yourself. You don't know who you are. Sorry. You are your behavior. Write that down. That's an affirmation for you. I am my behavior. So what is your behavior telling you about you? And it's not your fault. No judgment. Again, I've been there. Nobody had a conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus unhealthy. Nobody helped you go through a process of really figuring out who you are. You want to do that. You don't know where to start. Start with me inside of Single You Academy. So how do you apply? Because here's the deal. There is an application process. I do not accept everybody. I only work with a certain type of woman, a woman who is ready to invest in herself, a woman who is ready to figure out who she is. This is not a dating program. I help you discover your worth. This is about you. This is not about, well, he did this to me and this is about you. So you can apply to Single You Academy. You can go to singleyouacademy.com. You can send me a DM. I'm going to actually type the link in the chat. Let me ask you this as I'm getting the link as well, because I see you watching. So obviously this is resonating. Let me ask you this. What is it costing you emotionally to stay in this cycle of dysfunction with men? What is it costing you? I would love to see your answers. Type it in the comments, and I'm getting the link. What is it costing you to not set boundaries with men and yourself? What is it costing you? I'm just gonna let that marinate. If you're watching on Instagram, you're gonna have to send me a DM. I can't drop a link in the comments because it's Instagram and it won't be clickable. So if you're watching Instagram, I want you to send me a DM and say, can you please send me more information about Single You Academy? Yes, Facebook user, peace of mind. So I can't see your name on Facebook because you didn't give me permission to read your name, which if you want to give me permission, all you have to do is go to the top of this video in the description, click the link. You'll see it at the bottom. It'll say like, give Rika StreamYard permission to see your name. But yeah, it's costing you peace of mind. And so if what you've tried isn't working, shouldn't you try something else? Because you know the definition of insanity. So if journaling, advice from friends, good intention, letting a guy know all up front what I want and what I will not allow, and it still doesn't work out for you, time to try something new. If you really truly want out of this cycle of dysfunctional relationships, if you want to stop being the woman that's steady, hold on. If you want to stop being the woman that finds a man and you steady pouring into him and he taking and 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 you left feeling empty, if you want to stop being that woman, if you're serious about it, send me a DM or type I'm in the chat, in the comments. Single You Academy is open. The application process ends June 4th and we start June 6th. So if you're ready, okay, so this is how I'm going to end this. Okay, so let me see, I asked you that, but I got my notes, you know what I mean? Okay, so what excuses are you coming up with to not work on yourself? What excuses are you coming up with to not work on yourself? I don't know where to start. Fear. I really don't want to go back to the past and what I did and where I went wrong. I don't want to look myself in the mirror. Money. Let's talk about money real quick, because I get a lot of women who want to work on themselves. And I'm always like, okay, are you ready to do this now? And they're like, yes, I need it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships? They say 10. And I'm like, okay, so are you wanting a coach? Yes. And then I'm like, okay, this is what it's going to cost you. And then they're like, well, I don't know if I can do that. Okay, then do it on your own and that's fine. But where has doing it on your own gotten you? And how come you are so quick to invest in a man, your kids, everybody else, but yourself? So again, what excuses are you coming up with to not work on yourself? Well, I can't really invest in myself because, you know, blah, 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 blah. Fear. Well, I don't know. But when it comes to a man wanting Jordans from you for his birthday, you'll buy him a $250 pair of Jordans. Don't even think about it. Don't even break a sweat. But when it comes to you, you don't want to invest in yourself. That confuses me. I know where you are, especially because, like I said, I'm a certified life coach, so I know where your mindset is, but I'm trying to break you through that mindset because that's what I had to do. If you want to be a woman who's truly living a happy single life and not bitter, knowing how to set boundaries so you don't get back into this cycle of dysfunction, if you want to be that woman, you're going to have to do the work. And I'm not saying it has to be me, but you're going to have to do something. And what I know to be true is there's not a lot of, where can you go to work on yourself? What school? Who's in front of you right now offering you some help? Rika. So again, Single You Academy is open right now. There is an application process. You do have to apply. Applications in June 4th. And Single You Academy will not open for, I haven't even figured out new dates for Single You Academy because I got a lot of clients. And I'm just making sure I have time for everybody. So if you want to get in where you fit in now would be the time, because what happens if you wait? Where are you going to be 3 months from now if you don't sign up now in that same cycle? All right. Any questions for me? You can type them in the comments and I am just going to read to you. Okay. So what is Single You Academy for those of you just tuning in? I'm just going to give you the cliff notes. So if you're watching in the replay, hey, welcome. If you type I'm in or you send me a DM before June 4th, let's see if there's anything stopping us from working together. So Single You Academy is my online intensive 16-week inner work program focused on growth for the professional single woman in her 30s or 40s. I'm here to help you stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships with men without the overwhelm of feeling mean for saying no, or feeling fear that he'll leave you because you set a boundary. We're going to erase that mindset. Who are my clients? Women who feel like they spend so much time, effort, and money pouring into men. You so quick to invest in a man, and you feel like, I never get this type of dynamic in return. How do I stop this cycle? Because this can't be life. You are at your, like, you sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's my client. That's where you are right now. You sick and tired of being sick and tired. So how do you apply? Okay. 3 ways you can do it. You get to choose whatever's easiest. I put the link in the comments here on Facebook. You can click the link, read the application page. You're a professional woman. I know you know how to read. Okay. So read it, fill it out. Then you'll schedule our Zoom call. It's a discovery call. And then on that call, that's where we decide if we're going to work together or not. Okay. So you can click that link. Or you can type I'm in the comments and I'll send you a DM, or you can DM me and let's get you on board, your application in before June 4th. If you are watching on Instagram, you're going to have to send me a DM because I can't put the link. The link is in my bio on Instagram, but just go ahead and send me a DM and we'll have a little conversation and see if you are good to apply for Single You Academy. Okay. All right. Other than that, I'm out. I'm done. Happy Tuesday. I'm so proud of myself. I always say these are about to be 30, 40 minutes. And we have 38 minutes right now. Go Rika, go Rika, go Rika. Okay. Anyway, y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. It's not going to be weird. I'm not going to be like, why is this girl reaching out to me? And if you're watching in the replay, as long as it's before June 4th, reach out to me. Bye. Bye.